Yes, there we go. Thank you. If you haven't told your leader that you want to hit, you want to hit 4K, then they don't know what it is, what all they can be doing to help you. They can really get in the trenches with you and help give you some great advice. And so Tammy's going to break down kind of what 4K in a nutshell is, and then we're going to talk about action steps and things beyond in order to get you to 4K.
Okay, you ready for me?
Mm-hmm.
For those of you guys that are on here, please make sure you're muted because I don't think, oh yeah, no, everyone's muted now. And then also, Sandra, while I'm talking in that 12K chat, I'm not sure I think we're still missing some people. So maybe hop into the Dream Team 12K and see if they're still struggling. So, okay, so to be 4K, the easiest way to explain that is that it's you plus all of your team. It's the sales volume in a calendar month that equals $4,000 or more. There are some guidelines to that though. You have to have, it has to be you plus at least 2 active promoters. So if you are just a rocket ship and you just take off and you go sell $8,000 all by yourself and you have no other promoters on your team, that's great. You're still going to be paid on $8,000, but you're not going to reach the 4K status because you haven't added active promoters. So you need to make sure you have you plus 2. That will help you with the 4K. And then the other thing, I'm going to look at the rewards plan because I make sure I say this properly. When you hit $4,000, so it's you plus those 2 people, one of those people cannot be more than $2,400 of that volume. I mean, they can, you're still going to have a big volume, but you will lose your rank. So for example, let's say that Sandra is at $5,000, but I'm on her leg and I've sold 3,600 of it. And Lisa's on her leg and she sold the other part. Well, that's not balanced. So she would still have that much volume under her, but she's not going to reach the next rank as 4K because somebody on the team is more than 60% of the volume. Now, why does it matter if she's got all that volume and she still has all that volume? Why does it matter to be a 4K or not? The rank is how you get paid. So when we all start, you're a brand promoter. And again, I'm going to look at my thing because I don't want to mess this up. When you are a brand promoter, you are making money off of your levels 1, 2s, and 3s. But when you hit 4K, you start making money off of your levels 1, 2, 3s, 4, and 5. So as your team grows and gets deeper, you get paid deeper. So that's why it's important to keep climbing up to the next rank. For me, climbing a rank is just like the accomplishment of it. Like, I just want to be like, sweet, I did it. Like, yeah. But in reality, if you're breaking this down by the numbers, each rank takes you up in pay. So as you build your team, it's like getting a promotion within a company. You're self-promoting yourself within this company as you climb up. See, it sounds daunting to me, which may sound silly when you're a higher rank. I'm having trouble even signing promoters. See, even that sounds, it sounds daunting to you to sign people, Kristen, is that what you're saying? And trust me, don't get me wrong, I'm not giving up. Well, heck no, you're not giving up. We're just getting started. Okay, yeah. Well, so let's talk about, and I don't want to take anything out of Sandra, but let's talk about that. Like, you're feeling daunted by having to sign up promoters. Well, who makes the best promoters? Happy customers. And so that's what Sandra's going to dive into, is more of like the how do you even get here to get the people on your team. But just know that there are some guidelines, rules, caveats, whatever you want to call them, to hitting 4K. So a person can't just sell $4,000 and call themselves a 4K. They have to have a team. And that is strategic. That's because Lavelle doesn't want you to have the pressure every month to make that by yourself. They want you to build a business and build a company, and you can't build it if you're just out there all by yourself. So Sandra, I'm going to throw it to you and you can start talking about that.
Okay. So, when you hear that in layman's terms, it can sound kind of overwhelming, but you know what? It really isn't. So if you really break down 4K and what it means and how to do it, what are you doing? It's the daily do to get the get. Okay. And so, you've got to focus on you. You got to focus on the people that you're wanting to help and so forth. Let's keep it simple. We have 29 days left. You're going to be very, very intentional about what you're doing. If you're not posting every single day in Facebook, Instagram, and your stories, then that's where you need to get a lot more intentional in posting. You've got to post at least 3 times a day in Facebook land. And I don't know that there's a magic number over in Instagram. I usually do 2 to 3 times a day in Instagram. But your stories, people are going to watch your stories. And I usually start off with something positive in the morning. There's usually a couple of posts, but you know what? It's not just static posts. There's movement in it. We've seen over the last few years that with social media, it's not just static pictures and posts that are getting the attention anymore. It's the videos, it's the movement in your videos, or if you are using Canva, you can do movement on your graphics there. You don't have to get crazy. I mean, I just learned how to do something this morning, y'all. I was so excited. I couldn't stand myself, So, but you've got to be posting in your social media. And if you're not, then you're missing a huge part of the game, because that's where people are going to see you. That's where you're going to get your big exposure, is in your social media. But now we all know that the algorithms are going to keep different people popping all over. And you may think, oh my gosh, so-and-so is probably sick of seeing this. Well, so-and-so may not have even seen that yet. You may not have popped up in their feed. We're going to work on that. Okay. Now, with going in and doing your calendar challenge each and every day, your custom conscious comments, and I always say it backwards whenever I'm trying to say it, but what that means is you're going in and you're purposely finding people that you've not maybe connected with. You haven't seen them in about 3 or 4 weeks popping in your feed. Go in there and you can find them. And if you're doing it on your computer, this is something that we've talked a lot about in our Zooms. You can right click and you can create a new link in the tab, and you've got all these tabs of people across the top of your computer. And you're going to have 10 to 20 reach outs finished in no time once you can see a little bit about what they're doing. And that's where you're making those connections. It's all about building a relationship. It's all about making those connections. Now, if you just are posting and you're posting in your stories, it's, it may be a picture of you playing with your kiddos and your DFT is showing loud and proud. Great. A lot of times when I'm with my grandkids, my DFT is showing loud and proud, but that's kind of like reading a book. I am a visual learner and I'm auditory. Not everybody learns the same way. Not everybody's going to see something just in graphic picture and go, oh, I want what that is. They don't know what that is. They think it's a nicotine patch. So you got to get your voice in there as well. Go live. And if you're afraid to go live, rip the Band-Aid off, rip the scab off, and just go live. I remember the first time I went to go live, we get scared to death sometimes to go live, but you know what? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 it and just go live. Now, I will say this about lives. Don't get on there and go, well, I don't know. What am I going to talk about today? When you go live, you've got to have a purpose. I go live several times a week. And on Mondays, I do Make It Monday. It might be a recipe. It might be a craft. It might be Make It a Difference Monday for someone. Yesterday morning, I went live really quick from inside my car. It does not have to be a fancy setting of any way, shape, or form. My purpose was to tell everybody I had totally screwed up and showed up for the dentist 3 months early. Okay. You know what? It's okay, because I don't have to show a perfect version of Sandra. You don't have to show a perfect version of Michelle or Joanna or Tina or whoever is, you don't have to show the perfect version. They want to see that you're not perfect. They want to see, oh, look at that. She goes to the dentist on the wrong day too. Okay. That's going to make you more relatable to a lot of people if you just show realness. Okay. But you got to have a purpose when you go live. You don't want to just hem and haw, or you're not going to ever have anybody come back in and want to watch and see what it is that you're doing when you do go live the next time, if you just kind of hem and haw around. So the action steps: posting daily, using your voice in lives. But guys, did y'all know that you can use your voice in stories? You can do a video from your phone. You can go live in Instagram stories. You can post your live video in your Instagram stories, as long as it's not more than a minute long, and then it'll go in separate little clips. And you can even add things to it, but be sure, and I didn't even think about this until a few weeks ago, Tammy said, make sure you put the little blurb on there. It says sound on. Otherwise people aren't going to know to listen to you. Yeah, hadn't even dawned on me to think to do that. Action steps, we've got to get people on sample packs. Okay, smart sampling. But let's talk about smart sampling really quick in a nutshell. There's a whole nother hour-long video out there on smart sampling. So in a nutshell, smart sampling, before you ever give anyone a sample pack, they've got to have given you their email address. They've got to have a free link set up. Invite them to the Le-Vel Facebook fan page, or if you're in a customer-based group, invite them to one of those customer groups. We've got Thriving from the Inside Out, whatever group that you're in, and so forth. And so invite them so that they can see what a community of customer thrivers looks like. Hey, we don't bite heads off of bats, that kind of thing. We're actually normal people. And but smart sampling has to be done correctly. You can do it 1 day, 2 day, or 3 day. If you do anything more than a 3-day sample, I say you've got to sell it. Don't just give away the farm. I don't give away, I don't do anything bigger than a 3-day sample pack at all, period. Because people think that if you give them if they buy a 7-day sample, that they're going to feel something. Well, they don't go to the Y and look like a Victoria's Secret model in 7 days. Thrive ain't going to make them look like a Victoria's Secret model either in 7 days. It's got to do its work. And I talked about this really quick on the Zoom last night. These are from the Le-Vel Gear Store, the boxes. They come flat like this. You have to put them together. It's not hard. And then you fill it with the sample in there. Y'all, we all have love-hate relationships with samples. Sometimes they go great, sometimes they don't. This last go around, mine have gone really well, and I think it's because I've had something that looks pretty professional. Now, if you don't have these, don't worry about it right now. We just need to get the product in people's hands. You can get some of those cute little bags that people use for treats. Please, 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 for the love, do not allow any of your promoters to just put a sample in a Ziploc baggie to give to a new customer. Now, if Tammy's leaving stuff for me on her back porch, she puts it in a Ziploc baggie. But hello, I've been a promoter with her for nearly 6 years. But for someone who's brand new getting their first sample pack, please don't allow your promoters to put it in a Ziploc baggie. You got to be loud and proud about what you have your hands on. My friends all at home know that I'm a thriver. They know I am. I have given some of them sample packs. Some of them have taken it. Some of them were like, no, thank you. Talk to the hand, kind of like what I did to Tammy. One of them just recently, about 4 months ago, came around and she said, yes, I'm ready for a sample pack. Y'all, it is all about the timing. It really and truly is. And she is posting now because she knows what a huge difference this is doing into her, what it's doing for her and in her body and so forth. And she hit the nail on the head yesterday with, I had commented and I said, you look amazing. She said, and y'all, thank you for loving me enough to share with me again. She hit the nail on the head. That's why we do this. It's because we love people and we want them to feel better. It's not that we want anything from them. It's because we love them and we know what a difference it can make. Now, as you're going live, what does your voice sound like? Do you sound like Eeyore? Or are you really and truly excited? And people are going to pay attention. And if you sound like Eeyore, I can guarantee you, nobody's going to want to get a sample pack from you. My cheeks are red. I'm getting fired up here. And so, but if you're excited, then people are going to be excited. I mean, y'all, I get up at the butt crack of dawn and I go take care of my grandbabies. And there's no way I could do that if it weren't for the goodness of Thrive. And I let people know that. You can even say to folks that are just still kind of hemming and hawing around, you know what, girl, let's at least get you a sample so that you can experience what Thrive will do for you in 3 days. It's the feel, felt, found. No, not feel, felt, found. It's the feel, taste, smell, I guess, for the mix. Now, and Tammy, you're going to unmute here in a second. Once you've given out that sample pack, there are some cardinal rules I feel like that go along with when you sample someone, because I don't want you to spend 6 months doing what I did and it bit me in the behind and totally put my business back by 6 months. And Tammy knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So when you do a trial pack with somebody, honestly, anytime you're having a conversation with a potential customer, put them in a group chat with your upline. I know it's scary and weird. And honestly, group chats aren't like three-way phone calls used to be a little freaky, but we did them anyway. What I want you to think about is if I'm your potential customer, I wasn't prepared for this, but we're going to do this. Okay. Let's say this is you. You're the promoter. You're talking to me. I'm the potential customer, right? And that's Thrive. And I want to learn about Thrive. And you keep standing here telling me all the things, but I want to learn about that. That's why you put someone in a group chat, because a third party comes in, you step out of the way, and now your potential and a third party can learn all about Thrive. They can share their experience, what to expect, what not to expect. They can ask hard questions. And I'm telling you, over the last 6 years, there is not a single group chat I've ever been in where a customer or potential customer doesn't just tell me all kinds of stuff. And then the promoter, who's been their best friend for years, is like, I didn't know any of that about her. She's never told me that. So basically get out of your own way and put them in a group chat, especially if you're going to be sampling someone, because they're going to need to hear from someone else that 3 days may or may not rock their world. Especially like if you're a day one thriver, which Sandra was, I was not. I'm a 3-weeker. So my take on someone getting a trial pack, I call it touch, taste, and feel. Like you're gonna get to touch, taste, and feel this stuff, but I'm not expecting it to change your world. If I'm wrong, great. But if I'm right and it takes you longer, you already know that going in. So again, it's just really good to have a group chat. During trial pack periods, you're going to have people who won't start right away, or they won't want to take it right, or they'll wait until here's one we just had, they'll wait until they get the trial to then tell you that they're allergic to something. So you just need that extra support, and your customer needs that extra support. So it's always important to get them in a group chat. If you want to actually build this business, don't do it by yourself. Let your upline, sidelines, downlines, whoever is perfect for the chat, let someone help you with that customer.
Absolutely. And there was something you had said right there at the beginning about, oh, yes, 3-way calls were crazy awkward. 3-way chat groups are not. And this is how I take care of it so that it does not feel awkward for your, take yourself out of it. Like she just said, I say, hey, you know what? So-and-so, I've got a really good friend. And today I put Tammy in 2 group chats for 2 completely different things, but I knew she could speak to them. And even if she didn't have the experience that went with them, I knew she could speak to XYZ. And so I just said, you know what, I'm going to put you in a chat group with my friend so-and-so. She has got a lot of knowledge when it comes to the ins and outs of da 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 da. She went through this herself, and I put her in the group chat. And both people, when I told them separately, hey, I'm going to put you in this little group chat with my friend because I want you to, she's got some info that's going to help you. Both of them said, oh, thank you so much. But if you sit there and you go, well, are you okay if I put you in a group chat with my friend, da, 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 da. I don't ever ask for permission. It's easier to ask for forgiveness than permission. It totally is. And y'all know that. So don't be afraid to put someone in a group chat. It truly will rock the sample pack, the sample opportunity for that person. And if you're having a hard time in closing the sale, Tammy knows how to just tie it right up with a bow. She totally does. Now, Tammy, anything else you can think of that I'm leaving out?
Well, no, I mean, like task oriented wise, I feel like you're hitting all the things. I think what we should talk about though, or what I'm going to talk about, I guess, is I know people come here because they're like, I want to hit 4K. How do I hit 4K? So technically what 4K means. The tasks at hand. You've got to do reach outs. You've got to do social media. You've got to go find the people. But I think one of the biggest missing pieces for so many promoters is the mindset and the actual confidence level. Last night we closed out the end of March, and there were people on our teams who were so close. Like I'm talking a few $100s from a goal that could have produced a $4,000 or $12,000 check. And when I see that, that to me means that person has not actually truly accepted that they're worth it. And so if you are finding yourself saying you want to hit a goal, doing all the things, but yet you're not moving forward, it's time to take a hard look at your mindset. What are you telling yourself on a daily basis? It's if you can wake up in the mornings and take care of yourself first, maybe to you that's listening to gospel, or maybe like for me, I get on podcasts or YouTubes and I listen to other business leaders just to get that energy and that mindset and to remind myself how abundant, how much is out there for me. That's what puts me in the right mindset to get through my day. And once you get in that mindset, then you can just go into the tasks. It's when you get caught up in the swirl of, I want to be 4K, but I don't know how to do it. I want to be 4K, but I don't know if I can. I want to be 4K, but I don't have enough friends. No, put your mindset on bulletproof mode. Do whatever you have to do. And if you have to do it a few times a day, because there are some days where it's bad and you do have to do it a few times a day. But if you can get in the right mindset, then it's super easy to just sit down and do the tasks. If you put the tasks at hand as your top priority, you will get to where you want to go. You'll go beyond where you want to go, and it'll happen when you're not even paying attention, because you'll be focused on getting the work done and you'll be doing it from the right mindset. If you get focused on your accomplishment way before the accomplishment has even come close to you, you're going to be chasing that over and over and over. Get in the right mindset. And that's going to mean a lot of different things to a lot of people. But what I see the most is a level of self-confidence of people who truly just don't yet think that they deserve this. And I'm here to tell you that you totally deserve this. There's no one that deserves it more than you. And you are the only thing that is stopping you from hitting a goal. If you can wake up every day and say, you know what, I am 4K and I do deserve 4K. And let's say you're watching, so we're we're recording this during a time when there's a bonus check attached to the rank advancement. Let's say you're watching this and there's not. It doesn't matter. 4K is still a rank advancement. It is still a paycheck advancement. It is still a stepping stone into your business from 4Ks when you go to 12Ks, when you go to 40K, so on and so forth. And it's when you accept that you're deserving of that, that then the task at hand will get you to where you need to go. I know everybody wants a magic formula. They want to know exactly how many times and what time of day and what the topic should be. They want to know what filter to put on the picture, and should the picture be of their face or should it be of the product? Nobody flipping knows. Nobody knows the answer to that. But what I do know is if you put the task in front of you and you just keep sticking with it, you're going to hit it. If you're the type that's only posting every blue moon because you're worried about what someone thinks about you, or you're afraid you're not posting the right thing, I would rather have you post 20 times a day the wrong stuff and maybe get it right once or twice versus not post at all. So you just have to get in the task mindset that you have a task at hand, and they're not hard tasks, you guys. I've said this to my team a million times. We are not saving people's lives, and we are not like out working in a storm trying to turn electric back on for people. We are sitting at a computer, sometimes on our couch, on our phone, sending messages, connecting to people. The task is not hard. It's when you start focusing on what you want out of the task that you get derailed and you start talking yourself out of it, and it seems harder than it is. To share a product that you love, to help people get on trial packs so they connect them to someone you know can help them make the experience even better, which will then result in a customer, and a happy customer is the first person to start telling all their friends about Thrive, who then becomes a natural promoter. That's how you build your team. That's exactly how that happens. But it's when you focus on, am I 4K yet? Can I be 4K? I probably can't be 4K. If that's where you're spending your day versus how many people have I talked to today? How many people did I follow up with today? How many people did I put in a group chat today? You're focused on the wrong thing. Like, your goals are only going to come from the tasks that you accomplish, not from self-doubt. So I just think that's a huge part of whether this was a talk about 12K or a talk about 200K, it's all about your mindset of getting there. The higher you want to climb in this business, the more challenges you're going to have to overcome, and you're going to have to get thicker skin, I guess is how I will word it. And so this is just the stepping stone to get you to where you belong. So work on your own mindset, your own positive attitude, do the simple tasks at hand. And if you really want to work this business fast, then instead of doing 5 reach outs a day, I would say do 30. Like how the activity you put in is what's going to bring the activity back. So yeah, no, I think like task wise though, I mean, you covered like, I feel like you covered all the, the spots of where they should be spending their time. Does anyone have questions? I didn't look at the chat.
Like Tammy said, when you start your day with the positives, you're armored up for the whole day. You're armored up so that if anything comes at you, you got your armor. You're good to go. Anybody have any questions or thoughts in the chat?
So no one asked this, but I know this has come up in the past, and I'll address it just in case someone's thinking it. I know sometimes people are actually afraid to go up a level, like to go up to 4K or to go up to 12K, because they start to think I can't take care of all the people. So you're like, I can't be a 4K because then I'm going to have people asking me questions, and I'm going to have to help these people build their business. And I'm here to call BS on that right away. You are not responsible for anyone's business but your own. You are responsible for sharing a product, and then people can make that decision. Some people are going to come in and they're going to blow your socks off. And some people are going to come in and they're going to disappear. That's not up to you. Your job is to wake up every day and keep bringing people into your business. If your local hardware store only sold to the first 10 people and never looked for new people, well, people are going to run out of projects. They're not going to be able to sell anything to anybody. So you've got to keep that going. What about yes. Okay. So Courtney, thank you, Courtney. So this whole business model is built on when you bring someone in as a promoter, helping them get to the VIP 800 or 1600 bonus. So right away, Lavelle is setting you up like, hey, you're a promoter and you want to get to 4K. Here's the best way to do it. Go talk to 2 people and let's help those 2 people get to 1600 or the 800. And it's their numbers that then are going to combine with yours. So your one promoter now has the chance to become 2 customers and 2 promoters. And the other promoter you add has a chance to be 2 customers and 2 promoters. And every customer you add has a chance to become 2 because they're going to search for refer to. So it's literally just duplicating that over and over and over. And that is how you can build this business without overthinking it. To me, you've got to stay in that VIP mindset all the time. I'm coming up on my 6th year, and there's not a day that goes by that I'm like, you know what? I need 2 customers and 2 promoters, 2 customers and 2 promoters, because I know some of those promoters are going to disappear. I know some of those customers are going to disappear. I also know some of those customers are going to switch to promoter. So I don't know the outcome, but I know what I need to do every day. And that's what you need to focus on. Sorry.
No, you're good. Think about the staircase. 4K is at the top of your staircase, whether it's 12K, 40K, whatever. But the only way you're going to be able to get there is if you take one step at a time. You can dream big, but you have to start small. You've got to step on the first step. And I have that on my board over here. It says dream big, but start small. And then I have all it takes is 2 + 2 every week. I stay in VIP mindset every single week.
Okay, any questions? Everyone feels good about 4K? You know what it means to be 4K? You know different tasks that you need to do to get done? I have a feeling most of the people need to work on mindset. If you feel like mindset is an issue for you, reach out to your upline or a sideline, someone that you respect, and just have a conversation with them. Lay out all your fears. I actually had someone one time lay out all their fears for me. And then I guess I blew their mind because I was like, really? Those are all the same things I worry about. Like, it's not that you don't have fear, it's how you face them. And so sometimes you just have to talk about it. And if that's where you are, if you're like, you know what, she's right, I do all the things, I do my reach outs, but for some reason I just can't reach that goal, you got a mindset problem. And that's something that you need to dive into. And the sooner you dive into it, the sooner you're going to get to your goal. So do it afraid. Yes, do it afraid. I love it.
Do it loud and proud and scared. All right, awesome, y'all. Thank y'all for hopping on here and for bearing with us about the glitch with the link and everything. But I'm just super excited. I'm super passionate for anybody and everyone to hit 4K by the end of the month. And we're all living proof that we can do it. You know, we wouldn't be on here if we weren't. So y'all go get them. We're going to cheer you on each and every single day. And we'll see you all at Thrive-A-Palooza. So bye-bye.